What is going on, everybody? My name is GiraffeAnatomy, and this is another Smite Detailed God Guide. It's the new year for me. Yes, I am in my comfy robe. It is winter where I am at. Technically, it's a little warmer than it should be. It was just negative, like 5 degrees the other week, but things are warming up. I'm staying comfy, and I welcome you back to the series where I basically go in depth into a god and talk more in detail about how you can use them, what their abilities do, all that sort of stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over Erlang Shen today. And he is the Chinese god called the Illustrious Sage. And what we're going to do is get into some jungle practice with him and show you how you can play him, how you can use his abilities, and hopefully you're able to take him into any sort of game mode after watching this video and be able to use him a little bit more effectively. So let's get started. We'll go down to Erlang Shen. I'll put on his normal default skin here, and we'll get right into it. I hope everyone's having a good year. As of right now, it is January 4th for me, but you guys might be watching this in August, so might be a little bit different time frame, but I hope 2023 is going well for you. And yeah, what we'll do is we will level him up to 20 and we will get into it. So first things first about Erlang Shen, he is a warrior, which means he is a short-ranged physical damage dealing god. You can see his range of attack is here because he has a spear, slightly longer than other melee attackers because of his spear and everything like that. Like most other ones have to get like around here to do damage to him. You can get away with a little bit of a distance there. And what we'll do is we'll go over his passive and then get into his abilities. So Erlang Shen's passive is Howling Celestial Dog. Basically, Erlang has a dog by his side. You can see him here. Each time Erlang Shen hits an enemy with a basic attack, his dog hits as well, for 5% of his basic attack power and 1.7% of the target's maximum health. The percent damage only works against god and minions. So basically when you hit somebody, you're going to see a few numbers pop up. You're going to see the 32, which is Erlang Shen's damage. You're going to see an immune, which I'll talk about that in a second, and then you see another number there, which is 23, which is the dog. Technically, the immune is the 5% of his basic attack power. Because I have 0, it's not giving him an immune, or it's not giving him a number for the dog to attack. But if you get at least 25 power, so you could do something like Berserker Shield. Berserker Shield might work as well. If not, still immune. So yeah, you need like at least 25 power, I think, before it starts counting the 5% of his basic attack, because 5% of 25, it's like very low. It's doing like 1 damage, right? But you'll see those 3 numbers, right? 43 is his Erlang Shen's basic attack with a Berserker Shield and a tier 1 round shield. Then the dog is doing 23. That is the percent damage here, the 1.75% of the target's maximum health. That's what that number is. And then the 1 is 5% of Erlang Shen's basic attack power. So the higher you go, the more power that you have. So if we do something like this, we can sell this. Let's just do like attack speed with Erlang Shen or something like that. I won't do crit because it gets a little confusing. But look, we have some power now. My power is 155. When you hit, you'll see that's a 6 now, right? So that is basically more damage, right, done to Odin here. So yeah, you want power, you want attack speed with him. He is a warrior, so you will build him in the solo lane. You're normally going to get items like Berserker Shield and something like Death Toll to start off with if you're playing him in solo lane. He can be flexed as a jungle. That's the other place that I've seen him. If that's the case, you're going to do something like maybe a Death Toll Golden Blade start, and then get into like attack speed. So Erlang Shen likes attack speed. Shogun's Kursai is really good on him. A Toxic Blade. These items are good just in conjunction with a Berserker Shield, because you can build tanky in solo lane do some anti-heal with your autos, have some health, that kind of stuff. Shogun's gives you 30% attack speed increase, so it's just something Erlang likes to have and utilize. So let's get into his abilities. Erlang Shen's first ability is called Spot Weakness. Erlang Shen opens his third eye and analyzes the enemy's strengths and weaknesses. When activated, Erlang gains additional physical damage and lifesteal on each strike. He also applies a stacking debuff to enemy gods, reducing their damage dealt to all sources, and stacks last 3 seconds. If the buff effect has ended and the ability is on cooldown, successful basic attacks reduce the cooldown of this ability by 1 second. So really quick, I just want to show you what that looks like. When you press 1, nothing immediately happens. It basically just like a buff that's applied, you can see. And when he autos, he starts getting that debuff. You can see how fast he's attacking. And you can see how once it's deactivated, this is why you want attack speed on him, because successful basic attacks will reduce the cooldown on this. So you can do this, and once it's done activating right now, look at my cooldown go down. You know, it was at like 7 seconds, and then it kept chunking down because he's getting cooldown from this, right? So that's one thing. It lasts like 4 or 5 seconds, right? And once it's done, basic attacks, right? It's back up again. You can pop it again. You basically want to try and have this active anytime you're fighting, because this gives you a lot of advantages, right? You're getting lifesteal at max. It's 20% lifesteal. That's awesome. You pair something like Aussie with him, you're gonna have a hard time, you know, bringing Erlang down. Physical damage does more physical damage to him. Damage reduction, like 7%, so they're doing less damage to you or any other source. I have seen Erlang used as a support before, but that was kind of before when his turtle knocked people up. I don't think he's really played as support anymore because of that. Just something I wanted to add there, because I know some people did use like this and his turtle and his pin and even 9 turns blessing to be like a pretty good support. I've seen it done right before. But now I don't know if it's as viable without the turtle, and we'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, this is basically just a buff, right? When you're coming in, make sure you pop this during a fight. When you start engaging somebody, it will help you 1v1 a lot of people. This is why Erlang's also good in the jungle. It gives him some advantages that other like auto attacks or ability based junglers don't have, and you're able to really kind of bully people 1v1 with Erlang. So let's get into his second ability. His second ability is Pin. Erlang Shen launches a spear that damages enemies on impact. Enemies in the dead center of the effect when it lands are rooted in place. So this is great because you can not only do damage to people, but you can pin them, which is like you root them for a duration of time. It's 1.3 seconds no matter the level. So you can see there's 2 circles. If I just hit him in the outside, well, he still got pinned. You'll do damage, right? That outer circle, you will do damage to him. Let me reset the cooldown. So there's 2, right? You have the outer circle and the inner circle. This outer one will do the damage, right? And if you get the inner circle, they end up getting pinned like you saw before. I'll show you again real quick. You can do the inner circle there. He gets pinned. It allows you to close the gap, somebody running away. Or if you want to engage somebody, this is your main engage tool. You're normally throwing the pin out for poke. You're also pinning people to get in their face and start engaging them properly. So you can do one of 2 things. You can pin, walk up, start autoing. You can pin to just poke people out. And then we'll talk about his 3 here real quick, and we'll talk about how you can kind of use his pin and his 3 to do one of 2 things. One is either start engaging somebody or run away, right? If you're being attacked by Odin and you need to get away, you can kind of put the pin on yourself, root somebody, and then you can use your third ability to get away. So let's talk about his third ability, and then we'll talk a little bit more about his second in conjunction with it. His third ability is 72 transformations. Erlang Shen transforms into a mink or a turtle. So I know it says 72 transformations. It's really 2. 2 transformations. And he becomes immune to knockups and slows. The mink damages all enemies, and it stops on the first god hit. And it increases your attack speed and movement speed for 4 seconds. Turtle gains a health shield that is boosted by 75% of your protections from items for 12 seconds. So you basically have your attack and engage and your getaway defense, right? Basically the way you do it is when you have the ability out, there's two sections of it, right? If you aim anywhere in here, it's going to turn into the turtle. If you aim anywhere in here, it's going to turn into the mink. So like we said before, his mink is going to be like lane clear. That's what you're really going to use, your mink with your autos. And I'll show you, and it will stop on the first god hit. So just to show you what the mink looks like, it looks like that. It'll give you that attack speed. You can see the countdown there. It'll give you attack speed for a little bit. Basically gives you 35%, right? So you're stacking that on top of, you know, something like if you do your one with this, it's a really good combo, right? You can engage people with your mink and then use your one and start doing a lot of damage. And when this runs off, right, you're able to try and get your one back up. The turtle used to do knock up, doesn't anymore. I don't know if in the future they will bring it back or not. Honestly, I feel like it's a big part of his kit that was like so nice to use, because with a knock up and, you know, with his pin and his one and everything like that, you could definitely like manipulate somebody and do a really good 1v1 engagement with it, but doesn't have it anymore. Basically, this turtle is, you'll go through enemy gods and stuff, but you end up just getting like a shield, right? So you get this extra damage, and you can see how long it's lasting here. If it's under you and the shield's around you, that's how long it's lasting for you there with the turtle. And you're getting a health shield, so nothing to, you know, scoff at. It does make you a little bit tankier, and it does help you survive some engagements, right? You can basically just turn into the turtle and run away. You're really fast. You go through enemy gods and stuff like that, so you'll be able to get away. No one can like knock you up or slow you, which is great, right, if you're in the turtle form. So that's good. And then I just wanted to show you real quick, when you get into lane, really you kind of want to have the mink first, because it hits all the minions, right? And then you can auto the rest down. And I'm doing a lot of damage just because I'm level 20 and I have a bunch of stuff here, but early on, use the mink to get through everyone when you get into lane. And then get rid of the archers in the back, come and get the archers in the front. You'll be fine when it comes to clearing lane, so you kind of want to do that one first. But yeah, so basically the way you engage with him is you can start with your mink. If you're far away, the mink just provides a lot of great mobility to chase somebody down and like get that initial hit on them, right? And you basically do this. I pressed my one really late there. But you're basically engaging with your mink and then getting in their face and then pinning them again and just autoing them down. So that's like your typical engage with him. You start with your mink, and then you'll basically start with your mink. You'll hit him like this, pin him, hit your one. You know, make sure you are doing all that damage to him, and then it's really hard for them to like get away and stuff like that. If you've done that much to them already, chances are they're in big trouble. Either you will finish them off or your teammate will finish them off, right? The other way is if you don't want to use your dash to engage, you can save this and save the turtle form, and you can do what I was talking about before, which is you basically pin them, walk up to them, and do this to stick to them. If you have something like Hasten Katana or a Frostbound Hammer, both really good items with him, you'll be able to stick to people really easily. So really quick, I'm going to sell some of this stuff, just so you see. Good items on him. Like I said, I'm pretty sure in solo lane, it's like Berserker Shield and Frostbound are core items. The reason for that is, like I said before, Frostbound will slow them down. So you can literally like stay on them while you auto them, and it allows you to engage a little bit safer. You'll basically pin them, walk up to them, you pop your one. You're doing this. They're not getting away unless they have like leaps and stuff like that. And if they have a leap, you can chase them with your mink, right? Chase them all the way down. So very hard to escape Erlang Shen when he's in your face like that. If you're doing a more jungle oriented run, like a Hasten Katana is good. I think you can get away without a Hasten Katana, but people that have trouble sticking to others, they will build, so you'll build like basically, you can build like a Golden Blade Hasten Katana, like as your first two items. And basically what this will do is it will allow you to stick to them as well, but you're getting attack speed, whereas Frostbound's just kind of slowing them down. Hasten Katana is just speeding you up as you auto attack, right? So yeah, those are two items to consider when playing Erlang Shen. I like the tankier route. I like getting Frostbound Hammer. It feels really good on him. So this will probably be like a standard start, somewhat, depending on who you're versing in lane and stuff. But this is a good solo start. Solo build's gonna look something like this. You can even grab like a kin sides at the end, maybe depending on like how tanky you are and how not tanky you are. Grab another physical defense item, because Berserker may not be enough towards the end there. But yeah, you can do a lot of damage, a lot of healing, stick to them pretty effectively, and you're tanky, right? So that's a big advantage of him right here. So let's talk about his ultimate ability, 9 turns blessing. Erlang Shen taunts nearby enemy gods, gaining damage mitigation for the next 4 seconds. Afterwards, if Erlang Shen is still alive, he is healed for a flat amount plus 15% of his maximum health. So he heals for 450 right now, plus another 443 because that's like the 15% of maximum health. So if I went to, I'll show you over here. If I went over here and went to a god and had them start doing damage to me, damage me. So basically what this does is it's a cone, you'll see, and you taunt people when you use it, right? So not only will you mitigate damage done to you, but anyone in this cone will start attacking you. This is why he was kind of a good support, because you can peel pretty easily with it, and you end up healing yourself as well towards the end. So Erlang's doing his damage, right? You can see he's doing 42 to me, 57, 32, 32, 42, right? That's his attack chain. All this, if I use this, right, he's doing 28, 28, 36. That's the damage mitigation coming into play, and you can see how much I just healed, right? I basically healed the flat amount, which was the 450, and then plus the 15% of max health, which is another 443. So you get almost like 1,000 health back, or like 900 some health back from this heal, which is, you know, it'll keep you alive during a fight. It can turn the tide of a fight and stuff like that. If somebody's starting to run away from you, you can force them to like keep engaging you, right? So you can do something like this. You can pin them, do this, you're attacking them, right? Maybe they leap away. Oh, he leapt or whatever. I'm gonna chase him down with my mink. He's still running away, right? I'm gonna force him to, see how he has to turn and like start attacking me with that taunt, right? And it's like 1.2 seconds. It's not a lot, but it's enough for him to like, he has to stop, turn around, face you again. So if you're chasing him this whole time, going to be hard for anybody to get away. So he's a great lockdown character, a great 1v1 character. If you see anybody in the jungle like 1v1, you have a pretty good chance, unless you're under leveled, of engaging with them and being like a menace for them as well. So you're going to do this, you're going to pop your one, right? If he's trying to get away, let's use the mink. Boop, let's do that. You know what? Force him to engage me, close the distance. I'm taking damage mitigation, right? I'm going to heal. He's just crazy, right? Especially if you get ahead in the game. So that's what makes him a good jungler, makes him a good solo too, and maybe you can still play him in support. I've seen it happen, but you really need to know what you're doing if you're going to do that, right? So yeah, that is the basics of his kit. We kind of went over some build stuff. I think these items, if you're in solo lane, these items are pretty core on him. This for the magical protections, right? This is for the early game, the attack speed, all that stuff. You basically want to try and get some attack speed in there. Frostbound helps you stick to people. You, like I said, you could throw a kin size in if you want. Maybe towards the end, like towards end game. I'd probably either get something with a little bit more protection and mitigation. You need a little bit more physical protection here. So something like, I mean, Sav will help your team out if you don't have it. I've seen people do Mystical Mail with him. Depends on where the meta is at the time, if Mystical Mail is good or not. If you don't go Frostbound, you can go Mid-Guardian Mail, and that will be anybody attacking you, they get their movement and attack speed reduced. Although, if they don't engage you and they know you have this, they can still run away from you. That's why I like Frostbound a little bit better. Something like Stone Cutting is good on him because it decreases enemy physical protection and increases your physical protection. So this is basically filling in for that extra role, adding into Berserker's 50 physical protection. You're going to get a little bit more here, and you're going to be taking away someone else's physical protection on you. So if you do this, right, I go up to 148 where I was at, you know, it's like 135 before, 138. So yeah. So 2 stacks, yeah, an extra 10, you know, something like that. So when you engage somebody, it will give you damage and stuff like that. If you do this, you're probably not going to get like a Kins because this is your damage item. It's better to end on something like a little bit more tanky. There are some good defense items, like a Spirit Robe, Mantle of Discord. Even Caduceus Shield isn't too bad because he has healing, right? You can increase your healing from your 1, even the lifesteal of 20% when you're at level 20. You can increase that with Caduceus Shield. Manicore Spikes is good. This is good. Depending on meta, Sledge may be good because it gives you like the physical protections and stuff like that. I like Spirit Robe. You gain 15% damage mitigation when you're hit with hard crowd control. Happens a lot during a game. This will make you super tanky when you ult if you get a Pridwin, something like that. Mantle of Discord. Most of these are pretty good items to have in like your last slot, or even put it first and then get the stone cutting later, because this will give you the physical protections you need as well that I was talking about, right? So you could instead do something like this. You could actually get something like a Spirit Robe, and then you can grab your kin size at the end here. This is probably more of like a preferred build for me personally. I think being able to like chunk other tanks, other solo lanes, just do that damage to them that you want to do. Be tanky as well. Do anti-heal, you know, with your Toxic Blade. Like, you are going to be a menace. You're going to be able to start setting up some kills with your teammates. It's going to be hard for anybody to get away from you guys. You can engage on somebody. If the rest of his team runs, whoever you're engaging is screwed, right? And your team can help follow up as well. And you've got a good engage with the Mink, and you got a good escape with the Turtle, right? And if you need help, you pop your ult, damage mitigation. You're still doing damage. You heal up. Look, I'm full health already. Dude's a menace, man. Try him out. He's really great. Probably not so good in game modes like Arena and stuff like that. Slash, possibly good. You just need to be aware of like your spacing and stuff early game, so you don't get trounced on. But really good in Conquest. Really good solo laner. Still a decent jungler. Was even better with the Turtle knockup, and then could possibly be played as support. Be careful with that. Don't troll your teammates. You're gonna go support Erlang Shen and like not know how to play him. Get some games under your belt and stuff like that first, and just realize how good he is 1v1. Realize how you can kind of manipulate people and kind of like chase people down and stuff with the Mink and get away with the Turtle. Use your 1 to stay alive and box people out. Use your pin. That's going to be like, you know, your main CC is your pin and stuff like that. Get that down. Get the feel for that. So yeah, I miss this Turtle, man. I miss the Turtle knockup. Hopefully somebody's watching this in like August of 2023 and they brought it back and we're all celebrating. So yeah, that's about it. If you guys want more information, I run a Smite learning server called the Smite Dojo. Link is down in the description below. Feel free to hit me up there. We play games together. We queue up. We play Arena, we play Conquest, we have Conquest learning sessions if you never played Conquest before and want to get into the game mode. Even if you just want to play Joust or Arena or whatever, we play all that stuff. And you can hit me up personally and say, hey, you want to play a game or two? If I'm available, I'm able to do it. Basically, I play normally on the weekends or like later in the day when I get some free time and stuff like that. So yeah, thanks guys for watching my video. I really appreciate it. And hey, have a great day.